What's going on, everybody? Doug and Nick here. We just recorded the first ever video podcast of the Genre of Your Life, now available on YouTube. However, we are first-time video podcasters. We're gonna audio. However, we did have an audio video glitch. I'll say whatever.
It was a little mishap, but you know what? We're still learning, and it's only day one, so it's only gonna get better from here. You feel me? So yeah.
So bear with us. The first 25, 26 minutes were muted. So our apologies on that. Yeah, we're still learning. So you'll be kind of joining the podcast on the 27-minute mark about Morbius. So look out for that. But Nick said too, next time will be much better. We promise. Till then, we'll see you in the movies.
All right, fire them up!
Messy, and so going back to Craven, it just is like, it just kind of is like, are they all just separate fucking universes? Especially Madam Web. What the fuck was Madam Web leading towards?
Yeah, it was just messy all around. Like it was messy all around, and what I think after, if Craven does well, I hope they go, you know what, let's follow this method, let's do this from going forward, because if Venom 3 is done, if Venom 3 come the end of whatever Venom, it was just like, okay, like this is like cool, like this is whatever, like it's just like
Venom 3,
sure,
bro.
like I don't know, what could have been, right? Like what could have been and what could have happened. But yeah, I remember also too, Morbius had the unfortunate thing of like it was supposed to come out before like No Way Home was even like in production.
That's right, because I think like COVID had kind of just like fucked up
everything,
like the release date, so everything got mixed up, and even the end credit scene for Morbius with
makes no sense.
Yeah, with Vulture, it's like, so he just wound up in this other like reality, but he stayed there even though everybody else would have returned back to like their home, and like it just ends with like them kind of teasing sort of Sinister Six. But I digress.
No, and it was where's Michael Keaton. I remember walking out of that just so pissed, and I said, okay. I said,
oh yeah, because he was even in the train. He's like, "What's up, Doc? What the fuck is going on?"
No, and also too how the spell thing of like, no, that wouldn't make sense. You can't send him to a Morbius universe.
Yeah, because also, why the fuck would you? So it doesn't make sense for multiple reasons.
It made no sense. You're just like, wait, what now? And
he just stayed there.
That was
like
rough.
It's like it seemed like he doesn't even give a shit. Like, bro, you're not worried about your wife or kids. And you just seem so chill waking up in another universe. Like, does he even fully know what's going on? It's been a while since I've seen the movie, so maybe I'm missing something.
He was so chill about it. He was like, all right.
Yeah, like they show him, he's just
okay.
Yeah, I'm fucking here.
They still haven't. I really do believe that something somehow that once it got, because remember Venom 2 was already filmed and ready to go by the time COVID hit. They had to push that back. Obviously, also the end credit scene of Venom that were so hyped for it, Venom 2. John Watts did that post credit scene. Not Andy Serkis. So basically, they were already they were in production for No Way Home. They go, hey, get Tom Hardy over here real quick. Let's do a quick steam real quick. So they filmed that scene. John Watts did the scene for Venom 2, and it's like, okay, that's cool. Then with this thing, I really do think if releasing was differently, I think the movie would have probably been a lot differently.
Yeah,
a lot different. Much different.
COVID fucked up so much shit. Not even just Marvel, even like, I guess to go on a slight tangent, even like the CW DC shows.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm bringing that up because it's the final season of Superman and Lois. It just ended, which means all of DC CW shows, like that whole era is over.
Mm-hmm. And
I feel weird because I haven't even I've seen none of this final season. I didn't even realize that it had ended until like a couple of days ago.
What's on? What can you watch? It's on like Max, right? I think it's on or Hulu.
It's on. It might be on Hulu. It's definitely. I'm pretty sure it's on Max. And it's on like the CW website.
Okay.
It was funny too. All of this started with Smallville, which is Superman, and now it ends with Superman and Lois. And it's like this is kind of like it's okay, like a spiritual sequel to Smallville in a way.
Because there's no way that I mean, I don't think James Gunn's doing anything CW stuff related ever.
No,
He'd be like, CW who?
Yeah, exactly.
Who? No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah. So I mean,
gotta see this final season. Oh my golly.
And also our boy ASU with ASU for a couple years.
Tyler Heckman went to ASU.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he played baseball. Small world, right?
You know, I knew that he played baseball. I didn't know that it was at ASU.
It went to ASU. Yeah.
That's fun. Have you seen Road to Perdition?
No, it's on my list too. Tom Hanks, right? Sam Mendes.
He's the kid in that movie, bro. Daniel Craig is in that movie.
That's right. I've heard that. Yeah, I gotta watch it, bro. That's my list. And also, what's the one? Munich, like Eric Bana.
What about Munich?
I haven't seen either.
Oh, that's is Daniel Craig in that movie? Or
is he? I know it's Spielberg, Eric Bana, but I know like Road to Perdition and then Munich. It's like, yeah, I see those. Like it's one of like Mendes's best movie. Spielberg, one of Spielberg's most underrated movies too.
Munich is that's kind of I've heard it. The only reason I want to see it is because I knew that Eric Bana was in it, and Eric Bana is my first Eric Bana movie was Hulk in 2003. That movie is my shit. It's a guilty pleasure, except I don't feel guilty about it.
Good for you. No shame.
Yeah, because also like this was my introduction to the Hulk.
Oh wow! So okay,
you feel me? So I was like, as a kid, I'm like, yo, this is fucking, no pun intended, incredible.
this wow, hey, you're not agreeing on a lot of things, my friend. I can't give you this, my man. I can't.
This movie's my shit. 2003 Daredevil is my shit.
I'll give you Daredevil any day of the week. I can't give you this. I can't give you Shrek on steroids. I can with a really bad
this shit was dope. I will say like the comic book visual parallels that they try to do with it, like that was a bit much.
Even this.
Hey, listen, man. I'm 5-6 years old watching this. This was insane. This was so cool because also, first off, you at least got to go back to that DVD cover. Yeah, you got to admit that's a dope cover. Bro.
That's a cool poster. I remember when I was a kid. I think me and my dad saw something. I forget what we saw. And I remember walking to the theater. I mean, back in the day too, theaters had like those huge like banners, like kind of like floppy banners of movies. That was one of them, and I was like, "Yo, what's that?"
That shit goes hard. I think the thing with this movie is just like, you had Ang Lee who was directing it, and I think he was trying to make it too kind of like not philosophical, but he made the movie more contemplative than people were expecting a Hulk movie to be.
Interesting.
Because like there was one scene, and it's always stuck out to me where Nick Nolte, who plays the father,
that's right.
You feel me? Like he was talking to Jennifer Connelly, who was playing Betty Ross, and he was saying like he had this line about like he's like the world will not tolerate my son's existence, and it's like when you think about it, like why because he would scare the shit out of everybody. You have this dude that just when he gets upset, he turns into a fucking rage monster who there was never really any limit to how strong or how powerful he was. So just theoretically, just existentially, that's terrifying. If you get him angry enough, he could just, kind of like what he was saying in BVS, like he could just destroy the entire fucking planet. And just because you pissed him off one day. So like, I think had they introduced that topic, I think had they kind of shown that a little bit, then it would have resonated a little bit more. But the movie was fairly isolated. So you only saw like the circle of characters that he had. You only saw like their reactions to his hulking out. You didn't see like how the entire world was reacting. So I think had you like, you take it global, like maybe you see like the Hulk in like all these other countries just tearing shit up. And wouldn't it be interesting if like that kind of led off into some weird like cinematic universe, like maybe like they call in Nick Fury and it's like, hey, listen, Nick, we gotta get like we gotta make a fucking task force team to take out this Hulk, and then like that leads into like an Avengers movie or something like that. So then you have it where like Hulk is kind of the villain of the Avengers because like we had to team, we got to team up to take this guy out, but he's just like a misunderstood character. He's like, I'm not a bad guy, I just want to be left alone, and blah 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 blah.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you this. Fair enough. I'll give you this. I definitely prefer this kind of Hulk, kind of like mayhem destruction, compared to like the Hawaiian dad we got in She-Hulk.
Yeah, that was a bit rough. He was
barbecue.
like when he said bruh, no, he was like bruh. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was rough.
They
was like they nerfed him. They nerfed him.
It was fun to see Smart Hulk in Endgame just because it's a different dynamic, but
I actually got older quick.
Yeah, it's like it's fun for that just because it's like, like, why not? It's gonna be the last movie anyway. But how you said it got old quick. Like he's too lame. Like how you gonna? Because no, sorry, I keep studying. I have not slept today, but no, it's just y'all really, like you said, y'all really fucking nerfed this guy. Like he's the Hulk, bro. So, and I heard rumors that he's gonna Savage Hulk is gonna make a return. So hopefully those rumors are true. Knock on wood, bro. But no, yeah, he's way too watered down, and it's like that's kind of I won't get into that, but yeah, like I want to see Hulk like how he was in the 2003 movie and the 2008 movie a little bit, just more rampage, and you could even still play the whole like he's just a misunderstood creature type shit, because that's what he was based off of, was like Frankenstein's monster and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But it's still like like this Hulk was funny, but I don't just want to see.
This is Genius Bar Geek Squad Hulk.
Yeah, like you kind of just shit on the character. I don't want to see like these watered down, weak versions of the characters. And it's like it's that whole like, well, because it's a movie, we have to water it down a little bit. No, make a movie where you just go fucking balls out, bro. Where you just don't you don't hold back. You don't pull your punches with any of the characters.
Yeah. Yeah, we had this. So I give you that. There's some cool destruction in the OG, in the like the original Hulk. But I feel like with this, now it's like, I don't know, this is like someone's cool dad, someone's cool uncle.
Yeah, like nah, it's funny. It's cool for it's not even cool for what it is. Like it was funny to begin with, because it was just no one would have ever expected the Hulk to be like this. But then they just stayed with it.
Yeah, it's like no, we have someone. Yeah, it's. I want to go back to like again, even though I'm not a fan of the Hulk 2003, that destruction version of Hulk. I mean, again, the Hulk hands came from that movie too. Those yeah, I saw my parents' house.
My cousin Trey, shout out to Trey. Like he had those as a kid. And
awesome.
we would beat the shit out of each other with those fucking.
Do you remember when the Thing had them too?
No, I actually don't know.
So basically, you remember like. It kind of,
that's dope.
No, it's the same material. It's like it's fucking like repurposed the green Hulk.
They just painted it fucking orange.
Yeah, there's hey, we have some leftover from the Hulk. We'll just put in that whatever.
That movie stopped too. The first Fantastic Four movie.
My shit, dude. I love the movie.
That's the best Fantastic Four movie that they've ever made. Like the Rise of the Silver Surfer was very okay. They just that was one again. Like
watered down again.
It was watered down. They held back like. If this movie is about the end of the world, then it should really feel like it. But y'all like, no. Let's water everything down. Let's make everything soft as shit.
Let's see him dance at a club with his.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to see, because also like as a kid, I'm watching this movie. I'm wondering, how are his clothes stretching? His clothes didn't go up into them fucking cosmic rays with everybody else.
I'll give you that.
That was just kind of like I did not like that. They had plans for a third one, bro. They were gonna have him go to Wakanda. They were gonna meet Jimon Hansu's Black Panther, bro. Is gonna be fucking dope.
Could have been.
What could have been? What could have been?
Off topic. Speaking of like legacy and movies and stuff like that, I'm not trying to be like that guy or anything, but I watched Columbia Pictures, owned by Sony, right, is having like their 100th anniversary, whatever, like 100th anniversary of like the studio, whatever. And it's really cool because Sony has like Spider-Man, Men in Black. They have like every like Ghostbusters. They have like list goes on and on and on. Like these most iconic movies. I was watching. It's definitely a cool video. I love watching like kind of like studio tours, kind of like behind the scenes, like archival stuff, right?
Yeah.
And Sony has this like 20-25 minute video on the YouTube channel of like kind of going behind the scenes of like YouTube, of like kind of like the archive in the warehouse, right? Like Breaking Bad stuff. Like, and they had the neuralizers from like that Will Smith had, and Men in Black. I mean, history, like Frankenstein. I think they're like the props from that. Like, everything you can think of. Like, what's the Spielberg alien movie that is E.T. Third Kind?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
I don't know why I blanked on that name. So yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a really cool video, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so again, as someone who we work in TV and film, as obviously, I think you and I would be like, okay, first off, the kids probably our age, right? There's like multiple kids probably our age, right? They couldn't give a fuck. They're like, so what's this? And they're like, and the archivist is sweetheart. He's like, yeah, like this is like what we had in this movie, whatever. And like the kids are like, sure. What's this? And like I'm not gonna be they're all working marketing. I get that, but you can tell like some of them had no idea what they're talking about. Like, so what's this prop right here? You mean the thing from like Cleopatra? You mean the thing from like from this movie? Yeah. Oh, that's Spider-Man. Like, I don't know if it was scripted, but you should watch it because I feel like you're gonna be like, oh no, because like if that was you and I'd be like, oh my god, she's like Green Goblin ball.
We'd be fucking geeking out and naming every single thing.
Every movie, dude. They had props from like Step Brothers in the tour too. Like,
wow,
everything was really cool. And I'm just, all these kids are just like, yeah,
just not giving a shit about it.
They didn't care. They were just like, so what is this over here?
Stuff like that is
you can tell
it's like a little bit disheartening just because like growing up like just movies, especially like comic book movies, but like movies like that was my shit. I was just obsessed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, damn, like not everybody is as in the movies as I am, as we are. So it's kind of like, it's like, but what do y'all do?
It's
besides go to work and then go to sleep. Like, you feel me? It's like, it's just kind of.
What's your hobby? What's your secret love? What's your other love? And work. It's awesome for movies.
Yeah.
And you were saying before the show started too about like how like we grew up in the DVD era, the VHS era of like you're saying earlier behind the scenes and featurettes. And
like 2-disc special editions, all these bonus features where it's like they're like the filmmakers are like making an effort to like just immerse the audience in these experiences. Like, I was telling them about I have the Ben Affleck 2003 Daredevil 2-disc special edition where like the first like disc one it's like the movie and then like scene select languages, blah blah blah, and then like disc 2 is like this was all of like the making of. This is like it was split into like 2 different like sections. Like this section is like it's all of the comic book related bonus features where they interview like every single Daredevil comic writer since the 60s up until 2003, and then it's like the other section where it's talking about like this is how you make the movie, the fucking Incredibles. Like this shit is insane. They don't do this anymore. And even like the DVD menus, there's generally just less of an effort to make it feel special. Like it feels like more often than not these days, it's just if you buy it on DVD or Blu-ray, then it's just to have the movie. You don't get the behind the scenes like, well, this is how we made everything, and this is all the concept art, and these were all of the different versions of the trailers that we did, and these are the music videos from when they were trying to make a fucking soundtrack to help promote the movie. This was like all the cast interviews,
you're right,
all that kind of shit. Like, dude, it's like no one gives a shit about that anymore, and it just kind of like sucks.
That's right. The music videos, like the soundtrack.
Yeah. You brought up Men in Black. Will Smith was like, I'm gonna make songs for the movies that I made to help fucking promote the movies.
I'll tell you what though, speaking of early about Nolan,
bro, the Dark Knight
has probably the best DVD Blu-ray special features ever, because it's no one talking about the movie for like hours. How like, we did this scene, whatever.
And even like right here where they have Gotham Tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
It's news interviews, but like in the universe of the movie. So like that news anchor that the Joker had like kidnapped, and he had him like reading the shit at the end of the movie. He's not interviewing Aaron Eckhart like, oh, what was it like playing Harvey Dent? No. His character, he's interviewing Harvey Dent. So Harvey Dent, how are you gonna stop the sale of these drugs that are overtaking the city? All of this kind of shit. And like even Eric Roberts' character, was it Salvatore Maroni?
Yeah, Maroni.
He's interviewing him, and it's like it was they don't do that shit no more.
No, they don't. It's even randoms like that. They had special features, stuff like that. Like
where the heart is.
Home
is where the heart is.
But like a Toy Story 2, and like I also remember too, like if you had like an Xbox or a PC, like they had like the games you could put in, like, hey, put your disc in the console.
Oh yeah.
Play a game. I remember when Star Wars Episode 3 came out on DVD, and they said, we have a special disc for your Xbox. You can play a 20-minute demo of Battlefront 2.
Oh, that's insane.
I'll tell you what, Nick, bro. I'll tell you this. I played this 20-minute demo for hours. Because like
you said run it back.
Because at the time I was like, this game is like, this is so cool. And I was like, oh my God. And also too, it was just like the free version. You couldn't play as General Grievous or fucking Obi-Wan, whatever. I played that demo for like hours,
bro.
But it was a DVD disc you could put into the Xbox, and it would register as like, you play this demo for 20 minutes, and that's it. I would play it over and over again. Same thing. It was kind of like secluded map, so you only go to like certain places on the map. Yeah. Dude, I still play that bitch. Still played it. Superman Returns had an Xbox game too.
Did it? No. I remember the Xbox 360 game because that was my shit. To this day I have not beat it. I would just have fun just fucking flying around like breaking the sound barrier.
It was a tough game, but I think the disc had an Xbox demo too. And
I think you're right.
That was a fun game. That was
my fucking shit, bro.
That was a fun game.
They need a Superman game.
I bet you James Gunn or WB has one next year.
The way that they did them Arkham games, at least like the first few, they need a fucking Superman game, bro.
This was a fun game. That
shit was dope, bro. Just flying around the fucking city,
that was a fun game.
Oh, I was tearing it up, man. I was fucking
that was a fun game, dude. And all his powers and stuff was really cool.
The powers are fucking dope.
That was a fun game.
They had Metallo, Mr. Mixel, Spitlick, bro. Like,
that game was fire. Literally fire. Literally. You know what game I still haven't played? I think it did really poorly. Was that Suicide Squad game?
No, I heard about that because I've seen some clips from the game, and I've seen people's reactions to it, and it just did not seem like it just seemed kind of like. It's weird that y'all prioritize this movie, and it's also weird that it takes place like within the Arkham games because, and the reason that seems weird to me. The reason it's weird to me that it takes place in the Arkham games is because Deadshot in this game is black, but in like Arkham City, there's a scene where at the beginning of the movie, or at the beginning of the game, where like it's Bruce Wayne and he's coming out of like jail or whatever.
Yeah.
Or rather, when he's entering Arkham City, there's a guy that kind of makes a shooting gesture to him, a white guy. That's Deadshot, like legitimately Deadshot, because he comes back. There's a side mission with him later on. So it's like, are we just gonna act like, I don't know if there was like a reason, like maybe he was like an imposter Deadshot or something, because I think also the characters' temperaments are different. But also I wouldn't be surprised if they made him black in this game so that it would kind of tie in with the Will Smith Deadshot a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's probably what it was. I mean, I know this game was in like production for a long time.
Man, they should have left it there.
So I remember during COVID when DC Fandom 2020 came out and they had a teaser out for it. And you know, we're like, that looks cool. I think it looks cool. And then to your point, it came out and it was just kind of like, I think it came out like they were like deep into production and they kind of rushed the end, like put it out because it's been like delayed.
Don't rush the end, man.
And that's a shame.
Oh yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about right there.
That, and then there's, I would assume it's probably try to be canon with Will Smith
with Suicide Squad.
Because also too, I mean, he was supposed to come back for the second one, but scheduling conflicts, stuff like that. He just, as we were told.
Like, I don't know. Maybe James Gunn could find another spot for Will Smith in his DCU.
I think so. Give it time. I think so. But I mean, I still kind of want to play this game personally. I mean, how much is that?
I started watching the cutscenes. I would be down to like finish them. I'm at a place right now where I'm like, I'll just watch the cutscenes to video games because I just don't have, I guess, not the energy to play, but
the funds,
the time, the patience.
$25. That's okay. That's not terrible. I mean, it's all right.
Man, not to sound cheap, but I'll just watch the cutscenes for free. You feel me? I'll live vicariously through whoever's playing it.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Completely off topic.
What you got?
We got to talk about the movie. We got to talk about the screening. We got to talk about the screening.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'll pull it up for our audience too. So, yeah, we saw last night. We actually had a at-home screening. Thankfully. Luckily too. And Werewolf, that's shopping actually. Shopping. And werewolves.
You're shopping for werewolves?
Yeah, right.
Can you imagine buying an actual
Amazon
werewolf
Prime,
online?
Yeah. Here it is, werewolves. So basically, it's one of those like indie films that like I've been hearing a lot about recently. And then I think when we got the screener for it, it was like, oh, okay, like it's our friend Seth at one of our local friend critics out here in Phoenix. He was talking about it, and then you watched it before me last night, and you were like, so basically, werewolves. How do you pitch it to me?
So because here's some context for it without getting into like any spoilers.
Yeah.
I was watching it with my fiance at home, and we were kind of like we're coming up with like our opinions of it, and I felt like there were certain aspects of it where it kind of felt like I Am Legend, where it's they're treating it like I Am virus a little bit, where it's like now we gotta like test it and we gotta try to come up with a cure. But she was saying like because it's the main actor Frank Grillo, like he's out there like in the streets trying to like fight off werewolves. Like she said it was my fiance Caitlin said it was kind of like The Purge. So we were like it's like The Purge meets I Am Legend, but with werewolves instead of they were called Dark Seekers and I Am Legend. Mm-hmm. But because it was like you got Frank Grillo who plays he's like a military guy, but also he was like involved in like trying to figure out he's trying to figure out like what the cure was, like how to find it, how to stop it. Yeah. So it's like you got this just fucking muscular ass, like jacked scientist trying to come up with the cure for something. It's like, so that kind of like harkens back to Will Smith or whatever and I Am Legend. But so my thing with this movie, Frank Grillo and Katrina Law, I think were like the standouts of this movie. It was definitely an interesting movie. I will say that. Though I really liked the practical effects that they had. The design of the werewolves was fun, and some of the kills were satisfyingly violent. They didn't hold back with those.
There's that one with the kid.
It was where like with the back.
Yeah, and then to the fence.
Yeah, and I'm like, because also like it was like these are like you don't really see werewolves trying to kill people in such distinct ways. Like normally it'll be like if you watch like Underworld, it's like they're just like trying to like eat or like scratch at someone. But like these ones were like it was funny because there was a scene where one of them got sprayed and he went over to a water fountain. The werewolf and was like throwing the water at his face. So that it was like I don't know if that was supposed to be funny. It was there was definitely some unintentional humor in that. But there was one scene like the dude just got like the skin from his fucking face ripped off.
Oh yeah, that was rough.
It was gruesome, but again, it was like, okay, like fun. They're not holding back, which I like when movies do. The dialogue, admittedly, it was a smidge corny at times. Some of the story just felt a little bit contrived.
Bite this.
Yeah, like bite me. I'm like, okay, because it's a werewolf movie. We get it. But no, it was it left a little bit to be desired. But Frank Grillo and Katrina Law, they did their things. There was. Without spoiling anything, Katrina Law's final scene in that movie. Do you know what that one? I was kind of like me and my fiance, we just kind of like
that.
We just slowly like looked at each other in like disbelief because it was just like watch the movie and you'll know what I'm talking about. But no, overall though, it was definitely a fun ride. I kind of predicted how it would end to a certain extent, although like it was a smidge of a curveball because there was a particular character who I thought that their story was going to end one way, but then it ended 98% of that way. But then like right at the end, it was like, okay, no, they're going to be fine or whatever. So it was like, okay, but also like I get it. It's just like one of those types of movies, but. Like regardless, definitely grateful to have been able to watch the movie, to have the opportunity for it to see it, and but no, it was fun though. Fun ride for sure.
What's your rating?
You know what?
I gotta ask.
To be 100% honest, I would have to give it like a solid like maybe like a 5.5 out of 10. I think.
Interesting. Okay, interesting you say that because I was. Well, okay, yeah, okay, interesting.
What about you?
Well, no, because I had. Let me look. Oh, I'm trying to share this with our audience, but how do I share? There we go. I'm trying to share this like that image from the to our video listener now. Our video listeners.
That's right. The watchers.
The watchers. You look at that thing, like, ugh.
That's a fun design. I'll admit.
Oh no, for sure. Even like when they're all together too, like this. Like that was kind of
looking like a Michael Jackson Thriller music video. He's like, I'm in the moonlight.
It's so I like when you pitched me that last night after you watched it, you're like, yo, this is I Am Legend with The Purge. And I was like, I was like, okay, I can get with that. And then watching it, I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of gnarly. But I'm with you though. It's The Purge with with I Am Legend with the movie The Gray with Liam Neeson, also with Frank Grillo.
Gotcha.
And
also with Wolves.
Sorry, the main star of the movie. Yeah. You're right. You're right, the main star. And the movie itself, yes, corny dialogue. You know what? It reminded me a lot of like early John Carpenter films.
Okay.
And George Romero films.
Yeah.
Kind of mix of that, when the moon, something kind of crazy happens with like the moon or zombies, whatever. Here's what happened. And then the thing I got with John Carpenter was the practical effects in this for a low budget indie film.
It was solid. It was pretty solid.
Because we've seen a lot of movies this year where like, man, this looks bad. Yeah. Like big budget, like studio films. But the practical effects and the designs, the creature designs and everything were just so like, ugh. It was very like, again, it was gruesome, but it was nasty. You're just like, ugh. And watching it, I was like, I kind of felt like kind of grossed out at times. You're just like, oh, that's showing that. Like, ugh. But again, it felt real. Because again, I think when you have a lower budget, I have seen those movies, but I know like the Terrifier movies are so effective because of like, they have no budget. So they use like everything in camera and all practical effects. Again, I respect that as we're big movie fans as we speak film. Mm-hmm. But with this, I think it's like, wow, if you can use practical effects to your advantage in camera, do it like this. Where like, oh, this works. The story itself, again, to your point, like I believe more of Will Smith being a doctor in I Am Legend than Frank Grillo being a doctor in this.
Yeah, like trying to like we got to find the cure. I'm like, nah, I'm not buying it. Especially literally his last scene, the last shot of him is so indicative of what you're saying right now. Like this guy is the and never judge a book by its cover, blah blah blah, that other bullshit. But it's like, and nothing against Frank Grillo, but like it's like. Nah, I feel like, it's like I don't really buy him as a scientist necessarily. But also, like, to be fair, I guess he wasn't strictly only a scientist because it was clear that he had some sort of like military like background.
Yeah, like special ops.
Yeah, special ops because like this isn't a spoiler, but he was fucking jacked. Like he looked like a G.I. Joe action figure from the 80s, bro.
He's huge. And he's, again, a very handsome dude. He's very, very well shaped. And I told you before with the show started, too, I was saying that I believe Frank Grillo is a very underrated action movie star. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, again, Captain America, obviously, a movie that I haven't seen. I know everyone loves him in that movie is Warrior.
I was about to bring that up.
I haven't seen Warrior.
That's the first movie that I have ever seen Frank Grillo in, and his role in that, like the way that he played it, because he is a good actor, but when because he plays like he's like a martial arts trainer, and when I was watching the movie for the first time, I thought that I assumed that he was, because I didn't know who he was, I assumed that he was like a producer of the film who was just like
stunt coordinator. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, like I'm a producer on the film, stunt coordinator. So just like cast me like in the movie, like as they do. But because he's a good actor. Like there was nothing like stiff or wooden about his performance. So like I didn't realize that he was like actually an actor until I saw him. The next film I saw him in was was End of Watch.
He's the right. He was the sergeant.
He was the sergeant. I had like paused it. I was like, is that him from Warrior? And then when I saw him in the Captain America Winter Soldier trailer, I'm like, okay, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So
kind of like John Bernthal in a way. John Bernthal.
Yeah,
in a
like
way,
it's like you don't seem like a famous like kind of big out there like showy actor. Like you seem like a grounded guy who's just like, you know, I'm in the field and I know someone who was like maybe working on the movie, and that's how I got in the movie. But no, like that's a testament to Frank Grillo as an actor. Because again, like especially in Warrior, the way that he plays the role is like it just seems like he seems like the type of guy who is just like that's the field that he particularly like works in, is that field of like martial arts and MMA stuff. And then he just kind of was just coached on like maybe like play it like this in the movie because you don't really like act like that. But it was like that's how good of an actor he is. You feel me? So it's like he's a really, really fucking good actor.
And I've heard in real life, he's a really good dude too. So it makes me happy to hear that.
I'm excited to see him in Creature Commandos in the DCU and in Superman.
That's right. He was praising David Cornswell that day too. I saw that. Yeah, you're right. I think I like the Gray, End of Watch. He had I saw the movie once. I fell asleep. Zero Dark 30.
He was in Zero Dark 30.
I couldn't.
Bro, because I only saw the movie. Again, like only like
it's once. A long movie too.
It was solid though. Maybe that's why I only saw it the one time.
Yeah, and then he was obviously Captain America, but I think his really big first leading role was the Purge movies because again you got like a studio, you have Blumhouse. The Purge were like really big at the time too, and Purge 2 I think is more of like his story for sure. However, I thought he was much better in Purge 3 election year because I was like the way he kind of handles that movie. I was like, a man right here, like
I don't think I saw that one because I think I saw the first and the second one.
Election is my favorite personally. Election year is my favorite because
we might need to just marathon those movies.
I own them because I like the first 3 are really good. 4 is kind of like okay, this is laughably kind of bad, and then 5 has moments, but like it was like 4 and 5 were just big kind of just like F you to like you know who at the time of the president.
Yeah, like, they was doing that a lot back then.
We get it. So like and so I think the election year to me was like, yo, this is like crazy because I remember I moved to Phoenix like summer 2016 and I saw it. I was a big Purge fan, you know, with my friends, you know, the movies got when we were in high school, and I was like, man, the action this was crazy. And also, who is the actor who played Bubba in Forrest Gump?
I know he talked. I know he talked.
Is
it
Michael T. Williams?
I don't remember his name.
But he to me like, yeah, Michael T. Williamson. Yep.
Oh wow.
I was right. That's right. Michael T. Williamson. Yep. And I liked him because he was kind of like I liked his character a lot. But to me, it was like because this was like they went from like full on action, like we're gonna fuck some shit up. And I like that it was kind of like an anthology series to a degree, even though Frank Grillo was in second one. Even then, I think it was Edwin Hodge or his brother. Was kind of like the tissue.
Oh yeah.
Because he was the guy that Ethan Hawke's playing, let him kind of stay with him the first one, and he did the whole rebellion thing in part 2, and he's also in the third one. So it's kind of the kind of tissue to like bring them all together. And I'm like, oh, I like that.
Gotcha. Okay,
but
he make me want to watch him again.
I'll watch. Election to me is awesome. It's a underrated action movie, but to your point, it's like he's a very handsome dude. He's very charismatic with action movies, and I really do kind of want to see him in like. Other than that, like. Obviously he was in Endgame, that small scene. But I mean, I know him and his boy Joe Carnahan did like The Gray, Smoking Aces. I think he also did the ATM remake that I love.
Oh yeah.
He's also in. What was he in Peacemaker?
He's gonna be in Peacemaker. He's gonna be in season 2.
Oh, that's right.
You did see the Suicide Squad before I get into this next part. I tend to.
You know, I have thoughts about that. Yeah.
I spoil shit accent, so I was gotta ask. But no,
he's the dad, right?
He's Rick Flag Senior.
That makes sense. Joel Kinnaman. That makes sense.
It makes it like I can see him as like Rick Flag Senior, but he looks nothing. He and Kinnaman look nothing alike, so that's the only part for me. But it is admittedly
one's a blonde, one's black hair.
Yeah, it's like because you got an Italian guy playing the father to like I forget what
he's like not Polish. He's like what is he? He's
not Swedish, but
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Swedish?
I think you're right.
You know, it's funny too. Like the accent that he has in the Suicide Squad movies.
Is he Swedish?
Is he Swedish? Oh hell yeah! But no, like, because he has like a European accent when it's just like when he's not acting, and I didn't even realize that his American accent is so fucking good. But it's like, oh wow, like I didn't realize that was an accent. That's crazy to me.
He kind of hides it pretty well.
He has a super.
But sorry, going back to Werewolves and Frank Grillo, the movie. Yeah, I think it's a very good streaming movie. It's a theatrical movie, and you know, me most on the show. Obviously, we're very pro theatrical. We're very like, hey, go see this in theaters, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This is a very good like, hey, put it on at home. Like, watch it with some homies, watch it with some friends. Like,
as pro theatrical as we are, watch this movie at home.
Yeah, it's to me. I think towards the middle and end, it gets very sloppy. You're like, what movie is this again?
Yeah, because especially like the back and forth with Frank Grillo, Katrina Law, and then the mom and the daughter. Like the mom and daughter stuff to me was just a little bit
got thrown in there.
Yeah, it was kind of corny. It was a little cheesy. It felt like
Not developed.
Yeah, it just because also, and no disrespect to nobody, like the acting just wasn't really there for them, and I feel like it was just we need a mom and a daughter to be in trouble because then you're gonna emotionally connect with you're gonna feel more like emotional stakes with it instead of it just being kind of like an action movie. And also like we need to pad out the runtime because there's only so much story you can do where when it's it's two people on the run in the middle of the streets. And also kind of spoiler territory, but when they were like going through the mall and it was that weird like Mad Max group of people, I'm like, hold up, because this is still regular ass society. So are y'all just some weird fucking group living in the mall?
The rebellion, whatever.
Yeah, in a fucking with them goggles and like the hoods and like it's like how long has it been nighttime? And then also, you remember they had an hour because it was like we have to spray ourselves with this werewolf.
The watch, yeah.
It was an hour on that watch, but then when they get back to the house, 10 minutes later it's fucking daytime. So now it's like, hold on a second.
It's like, wait, how?
Yeah, I'm like, what kind of universe is this?
And to that too, also, I do think this movie kind of suffers from I don't want to say dumb character, but like the thing with the roof and like I know they were testing the spoiler testing the thing.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, come on, guys, like. And also too, off topic, they completely ripped off of Iron Man.
I said the same thing with the fucking hazmat suits because like I'm watching, I'm like, y'all don't need.
Ain't no way.
Y'all don't need to have the fucking holographic on the and it's like the battery was like it was depleting by the fucking minute. I'm like, okay, so these are some shitty ass laptops. Yeah, I'm like, dog. It was like it started off at like 100% battery, and then 2 minutes later it's at like 76%. Like, hey, y'all invested in the wrong type of fucking hazmat suits, bro.
This is why we're cinema brothers for life. Because
I'm telling you, because I told Caleb the same fucking thing, bro. I'm like,
the battery's going. I was like, yeah. Get out of there,
dude! I was like, because I pointed out, like, I'm like, ever since Iron Man, like they did that, and I'm gonna be honest with you, they was even doing that in Superman and Lois, because there's the character, his name was John Henry Irons, where it's he builds like an Iron Man suit, but it's based off like Superman because he's friends with Superman, and they show the inside of the helmet, and it's like the fucking holographic display and all of that shit. But what would you rate Werewolves?
Man, I was being generous last night with my 6. I thought it was fun. It was like, again, it's a fun, like, kind of like, again, it's that kind of like, it's a throwback movie, man. It's a throwback to those kind of like 80s, 90s. I would say more 80s, like, again, the John Carpenter movies and like George A. Romero films of like kind of like even like, I would say like even like 70s to a degree of like kind of like, like American Werewolf in London, stuff like that, of like the practical effects, kind of like and also too, I think action and horror go very well, i.e. The Purge, obviously. Like I do think horror and comedy and horror and action do go very well together with like even like I don't really care for long legs, but still with thriller horror, like even like Seven, thriller horror, stuff like that. Like horror is very good as a kind of like a mixer, like another genre, like comedy or action. And I think we could mix really well. I'm giving this, I'm thinking with you, man. I think a 5.5 out of 10 is, I think you're on the same page, man. I feel like I was giving it a 6 last night because of like the practical effects and Frank Grillo a lot.
If it didn't have the practical effects, it would have been a 4 for me.
It would have been like kind of like 2B, CG kind of stuff. I've been like, ooh, this would have been rough. This would have been like, I don't know about this, but I really do think that like I gotta give it props for the practical effects, but to me does not seem it deserves a theatrical release. This could have been like a Hulu movie, even like a Prime movie. And also too, I think Frank Grillo to me, I think he's a working actor. I feel like he brings a lot of I think no matter what movie it is, I don't care if it's Captain America, The Gray, End of Watch, I feel like he brings 110% to all his movies. I commend him for that because like I think a lot of times you see like actors who kind of like do kind of these kind of movies of like the low budget indie, to your point, no distribution, no kind of like no like names like it's Lionsgate or as Universal.
Yeah,
so it's
like Warner
like
Brothers, Disney.
Whatever. A lot of them kind of feel like, we're doing it for the check, we're doing it for the mortgage payment, whatever. This to me feels like I think he believes in like unknown filmmakers. Again, he's not a big, and I'm not saying A-list actor, but he's still like, hey, he's that guy from that movie. He's that guy from that movie.
Yeah, you've seen Frank Grillo before.
Exactly. Oh, he's that guy. You know how Sam Rockwell was for a while too. Like, oh, that's that guy.
Damn,
that's that guy, right? And I think with him is that I think he really kind of like I think he likes being attached to filmmakers who are kind of like on the rise or kind of like new filmmakers. And to me, I love that. Again, I've heard he's a good dude in real life too. So I'm like, you know what? Again, the next movie is Superman.
Like, true, yeah.
So yeah. I give him props for that. So yeah, man, I'm with you. I think it's a 5.5 out of 10 for me. Yes, it's a fun movie. It's bonkers. It's really outrageously bonkers in every possible way.
Yeah, the practical effects, like it definitely helps to elevate.
Yeah, and I give him props. I feel like practical effects is really kind of like hard to. I mean, it's easier to do CG. Obviously, there's CG in this movie for sure. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
obviously, but
again, like just a little bit though. Like they never used it too much.
Yeah, it wasn't like Sharknado. It wasn't like a sci-fi channel. Like like oh look at this, like we have no money, here we go. And I think a lot of movies that have of this caliber, of this budget, of this kind of like level, it's like was use some cheap CGI and put in there wherever, like Walmart $5 bin, DVD bin.
Yeah. And
I do think this movie it's fun. It's a fun movie, but I would say to watch it at home. It'll probably be on Hulu or Prime soon enough, or even like
hell, even YouTube free with ads.
Yeah, right. Hey, that's sponsorship money right now. But no, I think so. I do think I think the director who is I'm trying to figure out his name. His name was. And our friend Seth interviewed him the other day too. You could tell he's a fan of he was a fan of like Stephen C. Miller and his movies. I'm not familiar with Margot, Line of Duty, Escape Plan 2.
Okay, I didn't see Escape Plan. I saw the first Escape Plan. Submerged sounds. Extract. Oh, I heard of Extraction. I didn't see it.
Not the one with Chris Hemsworth. This was one.
No, with I think it was Gina Carano and Bruce Willis and Kellen Lutz. I believe.
Good for you.
Yes, I saw that. I saw that trailer when it came out.
Man, my apologies.
That's what I do. I watch movie trailers for fun.
Is she Under the Bed?
I did not see Under the Bed.
That's how's it going? So yeah, I think a lot of these. I think a lot of these filmmakers. I think that's why I think as we're you and me, most of our filmmakers ourselves. It's like. I commend these filmmakers that kind of like, hey, this is their vision. Go for it, man. I do think when you have a lower indie budget like this, you're an award-winning filmmaker with the indie film, indie short film. Like I think with no budget, you can also expand a lot of your ideas and kind of more personal film. Yeah, I don't know if this is a personal film, of course, but Werewolves. But you can tell hey, like this guy Stephen C. Miller grew up with watching like the George A. Romero, John Carpenter, like even. Who did Exorcist? William Friedkin?
I can't believe I'm blanking on that right now.
Yeah,
I don't remember who directed it.
Those kind of filmmakers, kind of like the early 70s, 80s, kind of like the practical guys. Like, yeah, we're doing this shit practical. So I give it that. But yeah, I think 5.5 out of 10 is good. I think even the Regal over here is playing it. I was like, that's kind of bizarre. I was like, okay.
They're playing Werewolves over here?
Yeah, they are. And I was like, interesting. I mean, again, but they couldn't get all these movies I want to see over the summer or this year. I was like, you got Werewolves. No offense to Werewolves, but you got that movie. I wanted to watch Nora. I wanted to watch this movie. I want to watch a real pain. I'm like, come on now. So yeah, 5.5 out of 10. It's fun. It's fun, but I'm not like, oh man, top 10 of the year. And before we wrap, too, no, we can do our one-on-ones, of course. But I'm asking you this. I mean, we'll probably do our top 10 of the year, of course, in a few weeks, a recap of the year. But right now, what's your favorite movie of the year so far?
Gladiator Part 2. It was between that and Submerged with Demi Moore, Margaret.
So, you mean Substance?
What did I say?
Submerged.
Oh shit!
I was like, Demi Moore was in 2 movies this shit?
No, the substance. Forgive me. I've been awake since 3:05 this morning, bro.
I know it's your bedtime.
You feel me? I've been awake since 3:05. But no, because Gladiator fucking killed it. Because also, like, I've been excited for Gladiator Part 2 since I saw the trailer, and it was like, okay, so now I gotta watch the first one, and like everybody just fucking killed it in Part 2. Man.
I gotta watch it.
Oh my gosh!
I know it's probably planned for a while, but I gotta watch it. Also, I think it was the last collaboration was only American Gangster, which I love American Gangster.
American Gangster fucking goes, bro.
That's
like
my shit,
dude. Because I'm watching because it was Kaylin hadn't seen American Gangster yet either until we watched it together a few weeks ago. But I'm watching this movie. I'm like, because I'm a comic book guy. I'm like, damn, what if they like Loki did like a Lex movie like this? Denzel watching like years ago as like Lex. That would be sick. But no,
he's terrifying in American Gangster.
Dude, no, he was on a different fucking level.
That's a great movie. Him and Russell Crowe worked really good together in that. And then you said The Substance. I think that's spoiler alert. That'll be in my top 10 this year. I feel like for sure.
Yeah, because again, like Substance, it's one of those movies that it does not. Oh, I'm about to sleep.
Bless you.
Ooh, thank you. The Substance, it does not hold back, and it's it's one of those movies like it's got some metaphorical aspects which I like a lot. It's not just surface level shit. It's like there's clearly like every movie has its own message, but this movie it's very clear what the message was, and it's so in your face with the metaphor, with the message, and I loved it, and especially the scene at the end.
So,
bro, like oh my, like there was the shrimp. Dennis Quaid's character was just so fucking disgusting, man. They had the camera just all up in here while he's like eating shrimp, with like the fucking butter and shit like that. But
I'm gonna see if I can I'm like because we started pretty early and we talked about it on our podcast.
Oh,
there it is. There it is.
Oh,
no, not Shrimp Anatomy. No, there it is. I want wait, why I want Shrimp Anatomy. Where is it? Wait, there it is.
Bro, he was tearing that shit up. He didn't even chew. He said, "Suck the shrimp out the shell, bro." That's insane, man. And this with the butter that he was dipping it in, it looked like if you bought some fucking yellow paint from Home Depot.
Yeah,
it was thick.
He was going to town. There it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, like you ain't never had shrimp before, bro.
That was like he was in the shrimp.
Bro, like
the part of me more was just like, dear Lord.
I don't know, bro. Props to her. I don't know how they made it through that scene without just like gagging. I like shrimp and I like seafood, but this dude was just like, bro, you ain't got no manners, bro. Like, were you not taught how to eat at a table?
Yeah. Another thing too about the werewolves real quick. I'm glad that I don't know about you. I don't watch any of the trailers before seeing this.
No, I went in completely blind. I like going into movies blind because it's an unadulterated experience.
Like Substance, I had no idea what the fuck we were in for until Lee was all like, "Oh, you should see this movie."
No, the only promotional material I had seen for The Substance was the fucking poster right in front of the theater the day that we were going to see the movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Gladiator 2 and The Substance, like those two are the standouts for me. Because again, like The Substance, it just fucking goes there. Like it's like, bro, the gloves is off. I'm not holding back any punches, and I'm gonna be all up in your face with this shit.
Oh yeah, it'll be in my top 10 this year too. I think you're not gonna probably have a similar list this year for movies. But on that note, my friend, so to our audience, if you're returning audience, as you know, but to our new audience, I saw the shrimp. I saw the shrimp. I know it was still on.
He was tearing that shrimp up, man.
But here at the show, of course, we do a thing called our one-on-ones, and our one-on-ones are we do a one TV recommendation and one film recommendation for you a movie or show that we love, we deeply care about, whatever. So you might hate it, you might love it too, but you know what? That's why all film is subjective. So Nick, my friend, this week, what are your one-on-ones?
So in honor of werewolves, my film one-on-one is going to be the first Underworld movie because that was vampires versus werewolves. They were called Lycans in that movie, but my cousin Trey showed it to me when we were kids, and I love just how gruesome the movie was. It was, early 2000s, just dark, edgy, rated R, like super violent. The werewolves were fucking cool. Just bloody, scary action shit. Right? Yeah, that's one. That's like the first Underworld movie, in my opinion. It's the best one. Like part 2 was a solid follow-up. Part 3 was pretty cool because it was like the origins of the whole war between the Lycans and the vampires. And then, part 4 was just a bit weak because it was like, well, we're running out of ideas. Let's just have it where the entire world knows about werewolves and vampires now. So that was just a little weak. And I know that they thought it was weak too, because it seemed like no one was really fucking with it. The 5th one was like, okay, we kind of fucked up with the 4th one, so let's just go back to a more isolated story. Because even the 4th one had Michael Ealy in it. And I like Michael Ealy a lot as an actor. Oh, yeah. But I'm like,
handsome dude.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm secure enough in myself. I love my fiance, but he's a good looking dude. He's a good looking dude. No Diddy. It's them blue eyes. I ain't gonna lie to you. But it was just like, he's in this movie. But no, Underworld, like, bro, it just like
check probably.
What's up?
It was for a check.
I didn't see Jaws 2, but I saw the house that Jaws 2 built. But no,
I probably paid his mortgage.
Probably, man. He's like, I got time this Tuesday. I got you. But no, Underworld, really cool. And because also, just speaking of werewolves, like, I really like the design of the werewolves in that one. It was kind of like the designs of the werewolves in this movie. I like it when werewolves, like, they look. It really is like a hybrid between like man and wolf, because some movies where it's like a character's a werewolf, they literally will just transform into a wolf. Like, these guys were like 8-9 feet tall, just like fucking menacing. Just fucking hulking, and like when they the transformations were crazy. And also one of the Lycans, it was one of them was played by a man named, his name was, and I might be mispronouncing it, Kevin Graveau. Black man, like, just he has a super fucking like deep voice, and that was the first time I'd ever seen him. He had a small scene in Charlie's Angels, but he didn't have any speaking lines. But I keep seeing him and stuff. And then around like 2010, 2011, he voiced a character in this animated show that I used to watch. It's called Young Justice. He played the main antagonist in like season 2. Mm-hmm. And he's also a comic book writer. Like, there's a Marvel character in Marvel Comics. His name is Blue Marvel, and he's kind of like he basically created this character, and he created him like relatively recently as far as like comic book publication goes. But it was this whole story of like, Blue Marvel was a black character in like the 60s. In the Marvel like history, he was like in the 60s, and he was like basically Superman, but he had like a mask, and because he was in the 60s, it was like he was in a fight. They found out that he was black, and JFK was like, "Hey, listen, like, we fuck with you, but it's America in the 60s right now, so like I'm gonna give you like whatever the highest award a president can give somebody is, but like you have to like retire." But it was like he was such a fascinating like comic character, and so that's just another reason why I like Underworld so much. And then I think he also created the character Isaiah Bradley, who was played by Carl Lumley in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
He's gonna be Head of America 4.
That's him. Right. So I either created him or at least just wrote for him, or I think he has something to do with this character.
So that's right. Len Wiseman did these movies. I think he was married to Kate Beckinsale for a minute too.
I think they were either. No, yeah, they were. Because there was something that happened in the second one where it was like, that's awkward. That's got to be awkward for you to film, my guy. And I will leave it at that.
He also did. That Total Recall movie was kind of whack.
Who, Len Wiseman?
Yeah, that movie was whack.
It was very just like it's very 2012 Sony, where it's like futuristic, blue, shiny technology lights type shit.
But he's doing Ballerina. That's right. What? He's doing Ballerina.
I was wondering who was doing that movie.
But I think who came in to do the ghost directing? My girl from she did Saltburn and Promising Young Woman. Emerald Fennell, I think, came in to reshoot some stuff. And I also too, I think Chaz Lefke was on set almost throughout the entire most of the movie.
That's good. Yeah.
So I'm like, no offense to Len Wiseman, but like your track record, my guy. You get tip the first Underworld. I enjoyed this movie too.
You made one good Underworld movie, basically. The first one was clearly the best one.
he also did a PG-13 version of Die Hard, which I've heard actually pretty good. I've seen that one yet.
Which one? That wasn't
Justin Long.
okay. I liked that one. But it was I hadn't seen. That was the first Die Hard movie I saw though.
That was like the PG-13, like the watered down Die Hard.
Oh, and Timothy Olyphant.
That's right. And also Kevin Smith's in that movie too.
Kevin Smith, Maggie Q was in it. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she's a daughter.
I own that movie. I own all of them on Blu-ray. I haven't seen that one because people were like, "Oh yeah, it's PG-13." I was like, "Why would you make that movie PG-13?" But I digress.
Because we're getting more into like we just got to make a fun action movie instead of trying to be true to the whole original spirit of Die Hard. But so Underworld, that's my movie. For my show, because Katrina Law was the female lead in this one. She was with Frank Grillo when they were like running through the streets. For my show, Arrow, the CW 2012 show, because Katrina Law was on that show. She came in season 2, and she played Nissa Al Ghul, the second daughter of Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul.
Interesting.
And she made like many appearances on the show. She was all in like season 2, season 3, and then I think she came back like season like 5 or 6, and then she was in like the final season for just like a scene or two. But yeah, because also Arrow, like Arrow was just it was like a really fun show for me coming up, because it was 2012, like, so this was
kind of like when CW was still relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because also like I'm a huge comic nerd. You guys all know this, and like when Smallville was wrapping up, there was all this like rumblings of, oh well, they're gonna do a Green Arrow show. Green Arrow was on Smallville. He was played by Justin Hartley. This one is played by Stephen Amell. So originally it was going to be a spinoff. It was going to be like Justin Hartley's leading a Green Arrow show, but then they changed it and they went with this more grounded kind of CW Dark Knight version of the character, because this Green Arrow is a lot different than the typical Green Arrow. It's basically Batman, but even when you're watching the show, like the dialogue's a little corny, but it was still like fun to watch, and it was a dark show. The whole thing was like, it's Green Arrow, but we're not going to do anything like comic booky. That changed in season 2, but it didn't like ruin the show. But it was just like a really cool show to watch, and it was dark when it needed to be, kind of lighthearted sometimes, and the choreography especially was just incredible. Like for a CW show, like it was insane. And but yeah, so she, again, like I said, she comes in season 2, and she was a force to be reckoned with on the show, bro. Like she was fucking shit up, and she was also just a fun character. Yeah. And I don't want to give any like spoilers, but she did play a pretty large part, and then they eventually did bring in Talia al Ghul, but that was like later on in the show. Spoilers for those of you who haven't seen the show. That ended when did it end? Like 2018, 2019?
Yeah, I think 5-6 years ago. That sounds about right.
Holy shit! Yeah, because it's basically 2025. That's insane.
I want to say 2018, 2019. Yeah,
this show it's because I've seen every single episode of this show. That's right. But no, this show it's always gonna have a special place in my heart, because I spent 8 years watching it. You know what I mean? So it's like, how can I not? And I was even literally last night after the movie, I just felt nostalgic, and I was like watching just like some scenes from it, because there was a scene where, because like The Flash ended. The Flash was a spinoff of this show, and there was a scene where like Barry Allen it was basically a goodbye scene with this version of Oliver Queen, and it was just emotionally like it fucking hits, bro. So like this is always gonna be one of my favorite shows. So Arrow and Underworld.
All right, I know I've seen the first Underworld, but I think I've heard it was kind of like they all went.
Yeah, like it's kind of like The Matrix, where it's like they're not terrible movies, but it's just the deeper you get into it, like the less good it gets. Yeah. Like I would recommend like at least the second and third one.
Okay.
And then like 4, like 5 is better than 4. So, but yeah, so I'll leave it at that.
As a kid and growing up, I would get that confused with Resident Evil as a kid.
Oh yeah, I didn't, because I caught like some clips of Resident Evil in like, I think it was like high school. I didn't know what the fuck this was about, because it was like a zombie in a lab, like with the circle and the square, and he matched the shapes. And like I didn't know shit about Resident Evil, so I was just like, what the hell is this? I was like, zombies are smart. Like I didn't know what was going on, but that's it for me. But how about you though? What's your one-on-one?
So for this week, I think I'm gonna do a Christmas. I'm gonna do a holiday theme actually. And I'm gonna do one of my. I think it's very underrated, and that's Office Christmas Party. Oop, my phone. Office Christmas Party is let's say this, a not well beloved movie at all.
Did I see this? No, I don't think I saw this one.
I love this movie so much. This movie to me, it's called a guilty pleasure. I have a soft spot in my heart for TJ Miller because I've met him a few times in college. He's always cool with me. He was always cool to me. I know he's kind of a bit of a wild card.
Yeah,
but he was always cool whenever I met him. Courtney B. Vance is really funny. It's basically like I think it was taken from an SNL sketch with Jay Farrow and Pete Davidson, and basically their company is like Jennifer Aniston plays the CEO of the company because her dad passed away and her brother TJ Miller, and they had the whole Chicago branch. And basically there's going to be closing branches before the holiday. Like people losing their job with so many layoffs, right? Mm-hmm. And basically they have to secure Courtney B. Vance's company as their client, or else they're going to go out of business. The branch is going out of business, whatever. Mm. So they're like, well, shit. So they're like, hey, like we're trying to talk to the guy at lunch. He's like, no, I'm good. Leave me alone. And he's, hey, do you party? Yeah, he used to party. And so basically what they do is they throw a huge Christmas party.
Let's watch this movie at Christmas.
Oh, it's so good. This movie to me is so funny. And it's a great ensemble cast. TJ Miller, Jason Bateman, Olivia Munn. Guy plays the actor who's Deadpool, who plays what's the cab driver in Deadpool? For his name.
The character's name is Dopinder.
Dopinder, yeah, I forget his name, but funny actor, really good actor. Courtney B. Vance, Jillian Bell, Randall Park, Vanessa Bayer. Like, it has a phenomenal cast. Sam Richardson, who I like a lot too, phenomenal cast. Movie to me, it's funny because it's raunchy. It's really raunchy, but also it was kind of like the last era of like studio comedies with a budget like this, the cast like this, because comedies now kind of like taking. I'll say comedies changed a lot. I would say in the past couple of years.
Yeah, it seems like it's trying to be more like safe these days.
I save more, kind of like it's the edgy comedies. Not as cool as it used to be. And to me, like a studio film like this for the big screen, I will say the first half, like the party half, is like great. The second half, like more like the story part, is kind of like okay, whatever. Yeah, but it's really funny. It's a really funny movie. Again, it came out, it bombed. Critics did not like it, but I remember seeing it with some friends in college before we went on Christmas break for our freshman year, and I was laughing my ass off. The movie's fucking funny. And again, it's a great ensemble cast, great soundtrack too. Again, I love when you can like make like more mature holiday movies for like adults, people our age, whatever. And it's a fun movie. I love this movie. It's a lot of fun. My brother loves this movie too. I watch it every Christmas now since 2016. It's a new tradition in my house for watching this movie. It's just fun. It's a fun movie.
I gotta check it out.
I'll watch it with you. I own it on Blu-ray. It's so much. It's fun. It's fun. It's silly. It's stupid. But man, I have the big. I'm walking out with the people I saw it with, and you know what I'm talking about too. I walked out. They're like, man, the movie fucking sucked, and I'm like, I loved it.
Like, no, I was like, you fucking suck. Just switch up on him.
Yeah, I was like, how dare you? It's a stupid premise, but like it's a lot of fun, and everyone has a moment to shine. Whether it's this person, and our girl who she just won an Oscar too. Davine Joy Randolph, she was in the Holdovers. She just won an Oscar this year for Best Actress. She was a security guard in this.
Wait, say the name again.
Davine Joy Randolph.
I'm blanking. I think I gotta.
She was in Dolomite Is My Name. She was in this. She was in Holdovers. What else do we know her from? I'm a big fan of her work, and she was fucking funny in this. So when Holdovers came out, I'm like, that's my girl from Christmas Party.
Okay, no, I think I know who you're talking about. I might be spacing because I'm picturing someone from the Holdovers. The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
Because I think I know what you're talking about. Let's see.
I'm a big fan of her. There she is.
Yep. I know what you're talking about. So she was in this. She was in.
She's like the security guard.
Oh wow. Okay.
She's
wow.
fucking funny, dude.
Oh hell yeah.
So when I saw Holdovers, I'm like, yo, that's my girl from Christmas Party. Like, let's go. Yeah, there she is. and she's really funny in this. Like her and Bateman have really good chemistry. She's really funny in this. And a lot of funny Die Hard jokes. I don't know. I like kind of like the raunchy Christmas stuff. I mean, Bad Santa not as much, but like this, Night Before, obviously. Even stuff like Scrooge and Four Christmases, stuff like that. I love films like that. So to me, this is a funny, put on, have a good time, drink a little bit, watch a little bit,
a little bit of eggnog with a little some up in it.
It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. Again, it came out and it bombed. But I do think the first half is something stronger than the second half, but it's a fun movie. Again, and I do admit, again, I love this because it was the last of its kind of like a holiday studio theatrical movie with a budget like this. That is gone. Those days are gone. We go to Netflix. This day would go to Peacock or Hulu in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. So it's a shame. So I love this movie. One of my favorite Christmas movies. I put it on every year. It's just fun. It's a fun movie. Also, I saw it the year that I moved to Phoenix. So it was like, oh, cool. It's my old home in Chicago. Yeah, that's cool, whatever. So I was kind of like a little nostalgic to it.
Yeah, got a little sentimentality in it.
It's a fun movie. So I love this movie. I think you watch it on Paramount Plus, I think. So
I certainly have Paramount Plus.
And or if like me, have it on Blu-ray, you have best of both worlds. Where can you watch it? And you can watch it on you can watch it on TBS or TNT, whoever has those apps.
TNT?
Yeah, or just rent it.
Fuck, random as hell.
Rent it. But
okay.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. And a huge writing staff too. So, and then for my show, I'm going to go for a show that I think is very sweet. My brother has Down syndrome, as we know, Fletcher. And this show is really sweet. It's called Down for Love. It's a really beautiful show. It's about adults who have Down syndrome and other special needs to like go on these blind dates.
Okay.
Because they want to have a boyfriend or girlfriend really badly because they haven't had a boyfriend or girlfriend before. And it's a very beautiful. It's a beautiful show. They're all in New Zealand. If they do one in the States, Netflix, call me up. My brother would be good for this show.
Yeah.
Fletcher would be so good for this show. But it's just it's a pure, beautiful show. Okay, because every one of these adults just love their lives. They want to find love. They want to find companion, like all of us do, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just a really cute show because they go on these blind dates, go on like kind of these boats and these kind of like dancing things. And all these adults are just so like they just love life. And knowing my brother, the way he loves his life, whatever, is so beautiful. It's just it's a very feel good show. You put it on for a few episodes, like 5 episodes. It's cute. It's just really cute. Everyone's like, they just want to have they want to go a cute date. They want to go on dinner. They want to have a good time, whatever. And my man right here, the one the far left with the roses, is a fucking charmer.
Wow.
This kid was like talking talk Spanish. He talked all these languages. I'm like, man, like you are a dreamy dude. But again, it's just seeing them and also seeing how like the parents are involved, seeing like families involved too. Just like this show was not made out of ill will or kind of like look at them. No,
it's not just a cash grab or anything like that.
No, not at all.
We're genuinely trying to tell these guys the stories.
Yeah, and as someone who has a brother with Down syndrome, I thought the show was just beautiful. And having him watch it too a few weeks ago, seeing him on screen, I think how it's so important. Like when people see themselves on screen, it's so important. Seeing yourself represented on TV and film and media is so important. And watching him watch this was like it warmed my heart. Like, he's like me, or she's like me, and it's just a very beautiful show. And it's on Netflix. I give all props to World Netflix doing this show. Season 2 is coming, but it's been 2 years, so I'm like, we're all out with this. But it's all New Zealand, not in the States, whatever. But every one of these adults have a really special story and a very beautiful soul. So yeah, I remember watching it last year, and I was kind of tearing up. I'm like, this is so sweet. This is so nice. But yeah, again, if Netflix have won in the States, man, you got the perfect guy for you. You'll be good in the show. But it's a really feel good show, really funny too. And it's
really okay. That's what's up.
It's cute. So I'm gonna go for Down for Love. So, alrighty, guys, that is our 1-and-1s of this week officially on the video podcast. Nick, where can our lovely audience find you at home on the socials?
So you can find me on YouTube at Dawning Vision, capital D as in Dawning, capital V as in Vision. You can find me also on Instagram at Dawning Vision, all lowercase, all one word. If you want to follow my personal, that's Ahmad Johnson 98. That's AHMAD Johnson 98. Yep, that's where.
Do you hear that?
You hear what? It sounds like voices, but different.
Short film.
Come
Yeah.
on.
But
Low key, bro. There's nothing
yeah,
there.
Yeah, man, I've been off that shot for a little bit, but yeah, so that's so yeah, Donnie Vision and Ahmad Johnson 98, both on Instagram, and then Donnie Vision on YouTube. Obviously, here at Midway Avenue Productions, the genre of your life. You already know, and yeah.
Yep. And you can find me on Instagram at the Young Jones, all one. And you can find us, of course, here all together on Instagram at Midway Avenue Productions. We also have our YouTube channel, of course. Now you're watching us on YouTube finally, which is really cool. Our TikTok is like kind of there, but trying to grow that too. But our main really focus is YouTube and Spotify, Apple, all that kind of stuff, and of course Instagram. And we got a lot of things. We have a lot of cool things planned for you all, for us, and for our you awesome audiences in 2025. So look out for that. But yeah, find us on Instagram, find us on YouTube. Everybody find podcast. Again, follow Nick, follow Moses, watch their award-winning short films, both here in our link tree. You can see right here. I have both these guys, their award-winning short films right here. It's amazing. These guys put so much love and effort into these short films. Also, check out Nick's article, man. Our man was in a magazine this year.
Yeah.
It's been too modest, man. And I think Moses was in one too. I have to add him. And then there's your award-winning short film.
There
and
it is.
Moses watching from, and then also I think Moses was in article 2, so I gotta put him in that as well. Up here too, but yeah, our boys, man, so we still are my old ass are this in months our screening, but
watch My Old Ass. That was a damn good movie.
that's a great movie. It's on Prime now too. It's on
Oh
Prime.
yeah,
now.
watch it on Prime. That movie fucking hits, bro. That movie had me fucked up, but it was like that's like a 8.5 out of 10. I think
it was so good. It was, again, another sweet and charming movie. It was really
Yeah.
sweet.
very heartwarming.
I was talking to our friend Linda a few weeks ago, actually, when she was in town,
Oh, yeah.
and I was driving the car, and she was just like, "Yo, I just watched My Old Ass," and I was like, "Me and Nick love that movie.
Yeah.
Like, we went to the screening for that movie. We love that movie so much. It was so nice." I'm like, I think people are discovering it now because I think it was trending on Prime recently.
Okay.
So,
That's good.
yeah. So
honestly, it should. That movie hits.
no, it's really kind of like it's a fun, cute, very coming of age, sweet film. So I know I really do hope that more people see it at home and stuff like that, because it's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. And I'm trying to figure out how to end this stream. But thank you all. Thank you all for listening to us on the show. Again, if you're listening on audio, thank you for listening on audio. But now to our YouTube, our visual component now. Hope you guys enjoy this. Is going to be a new thing going forward. We're doing this because the hard work that this man right here puts into the podcast, what Moses puts in the podcast, what we all do this together as a team.
It's a team effort.
It's a team, man. And I really do think that we've been talking about this for a while doing the video. So now like actually
like, we're finally fucking here.
Yeah, man, doing it now. It's like, man, like it's weird, man. It's weird. So till next time, my friends, we'll see you guys at the movies.
And also, before we go, what movie? Because I feel like we might need to edit this part out.
Yes.
We love talking about movies. You guys apparently love hearing about our thoughts on it. So, what movie or movies, which series would you guys like us to review next? Give our thoughts on, because we're just a friendly neighborhood. We're just friendly neighborhood movie lovers. We love movies. You love movies. Let's talk about them. So let's that was a little wonky. I'm so it's gonna be better the next time. that was a little wonky.
No, we're good.
But no, yeah. What else? What other movies would you guys like for us to review? And then we will do it. So leave a comment in the comment section below, and then we'll see where that road takes us. Thank you so much for joining us for our first video podcast. Many more to come. You already know, and we love you guys.
Peace.